Good morning, my brothers and sisters. So, what allows us to rest under the shadow of his wings? Let's explore what the power is that supports this. I'm going to be able to rest under the shadow of his wings because of the power that's displayed by God and also his secret powers. So yesterday we left Psalm 63, verse 7, beautiful picture. For you have been my help, and in the shadow of your wings I will sing for joy. So the question is, how can we be snug under his shadow? Well, it's because of his power. It's because of his majestic power. In Psalm 29, it describes the power of the Lord as this majestic shock and awe thunderstorm. Verse 1 of Psalm 29. Ascribe to the Lord, O heavenly beings. Ascribe to the Lord glory and strength. Ascribe to the Lord glory, due his name. Worship in the splendor of his holiness. And then this raw, exposed power, experiencing this power and glory and majesty of a thunderstorm, verse 3. The voice of the Lord is over the waters. The God of glory thunders. So we can shelter under the wings of God because of his power and his protection and his personal attention. So it's the same God who is strong and powerful as a storm. And this voice of the Lord goes on, the psalm goes on, it says it's strong enough to break trees. And verse 10, the Lord sits enthroned over the flood. The Lord sits enthroned as king forever. May the Lord give strength to his people. May the Lord bless his people with peace. So he's stronger than thunder. He is stronger than lightning. He has sovereign power over this world. So what source is the power and the gifts that he gives to mankind? He can only give the power because he's first powerful himself. So how do we get the Lord's peace? It's only through his power. So the only reason we have peace is because of that power, of the power of the God and his favor in affording us the benefits of it. So in conclusion to that little part, God is as powerful as a thunderstorm, so I am humbled by his thundering majesty. So we have this power that we know about, but there's also stuff that God is doing in the background, holding back evil maybe, holding atoms together, making nature work, giving breath to creatures, creating life, dealing with principalities and power that are against him. So this is the awesome, powerful, and capable God that I can rest under the shadow of his wings. So the power that's demonstrated in Psalm 29 then explains this beautiful rest of Psalm 63. So how do I get the Lord's peace? Only through his power. We have, like the saying goes, peace through strength. All right, so Psalm 131, another psalm I'd just like to correlate today, it reminds us of how we're supposed to sit in that place. O Lord, my heart is not lifted up. My eyes are not raised too high. I do not occupy myself with things too great and too marvelous for me, but I have calmed and quieted my soul like a weaned child with its mother. O Israel, hope in the Lord from this time forth and forevermore. So Psalm 131, just a little baby psalm, it says what not to occupy yourself with, which starts with pride, a heart that's not lifted up or raised too high. Pride hardly ever prepares a man for paradise. And if you are prideful, just a word of advice, pro tip, there's a cure for it, an antidote, and that is to ruthlessly fight pride with, wait for it, service, especially the little people and the weak. So let me say that these videos are all about wondering and pondering and turning over the scriptures day after day to help find him and know him. But there's also some stuff that we're never going to get to. Why is that? Because there's stuff that which is only known by the Lord, at least for now. Deuteronomy 29 says, the secret things belong to the Lord, but the things that are revealed belong to us and our children forever, so that we may do the works of his law. So that's in Deuteronomy 29:29. So when push comes to shove, I have to rest in this concept that he's got this, and I'm okay with that. So sometimes all we see is evil and sickness and death, and the Lord is saying, I got this. So I, as a human, can be calm because of what he controls, and quieted because what he is holding still. I can be quiet because of what he currently holds, and I can be quiet by what he is someday going to conquer. So I will not rage against the secret things of God. I will not try to dethrone him and enthrone myself. I will not lift up my heart or my eyes in pride. I will not occupy myself with things too great, too marvelous. So I'm going to let God be the holder of some really great and marvelous truths, even though they might be secret to me. So this is how you get a calm and quiet soul, is you're hoping in the Lord, who is not weak, he is powerful. So I'm mixing a little bit these Psalms, but it's the same God and same characteristics and same truths and same problems of humanity. So if you fly up to the 40,000 foot view, I think, on these Psalms, you're going to see a few things. You get this beautiful picture of security and care of Psalm 63. You have been my help, and in the shadow of your wings, I will sing for joy. But the ultimate power of the Lord is very powerful. How powerful? Powerful as a thunderstorm, says Psalm 29. And the reason that I can rest is because he exerts that power for me. Psalm 131, excuse me. I can rest because he's got this. He's got the known things, and he's got the secret things. So I will let God be the holder of the truly great and marvelous, even though they sometimes are secret to me. I will calm and quiet my soul. I will hope in the Lord, that he's got this and I'm okay in him. I've got this. I've got you. So I will rest under the shadow of his wings, that's Psalm 63, because of the power that he has, like a thunderstorm, Psalm 29. And sometimes that power is secret to me, Psalm 131. Thanks for listening.